Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for being late. I had to take my daughter to school because I am a good dad. Morning, Mary. Morning, Double Dog. Top in the building. Dreads over here in the building. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We have a serious subject to talk about this morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a serious subject to me because I am watching it happen in real time, and I don't like it. So, without all the regular morning shenanigans, love you, damn it. Can we not? Without all the regular shenanigans and shit, we going to get right straight into this show. Godzilla -1 inhale, kids. Come on. Let's have us a good show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to a Trifling Tuesday episode of The Sound of Coffee on Ghost Call Productions Radio, GCPR, where every voice matters. My name is Thomas Bishop. I am known as the villain. My title and designation is the brutalist, the leader of the Villains Guild. I am a proud, upstanding member of the Outcast Nation. I don't have a your mama joke this morning, but just ask your mama how she feels about villains, and there it is. Give me a second, I forgot something. Introducing for one and all, Persepolis the Cactus! B-Chef, obviously, is in the building. Coco, for all of you guys who love y'all some Coco, is right here. And she is side-eyeing all of us. The machine gun duck is right there. The whole gang is here. Let's have us a good show. Now, I touched on this on the Villain's View for my final thoughts. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get out. Let me get this out the way because I know some of the stuff that I'm about to say is going to be very, very funny. And I want y'all to know that. But this is a very, very serious issue. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all these. Kobe! I only come and get them because I already know. Kobe! I know how y'all are. Come get one. Come get you a fresh, hot, free Kobe. There you go. Kobe! Just come and get them there at the front door. Kobe! Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and give yourself a free Kobe. There you go. Now, I am asking, because I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. Like and share the live, blah, blah, blah. Do all the heart things. The hearty hearts with the hearts, please. I am asking nicely. There you go. Now, I touched on this a little bit on the Villain's View the other night, or Sunday night, in my final thoughts. but I think it is high time for us to say something out loud. We, and by we I do mean the United States of America, we are going to end up finding ourselves living in a Christian nationalist country. Right now, as I sit here, a story came across my feed about how young people are not, they did not go to CPAC, and the ones that did went there for one reason and one reason only: to, quote, watch CPAC die. Now, if you thought that these people were simply going to just slink off into the shadows, you are wrong. Because the new thing is Turning Point USA, led by Erica Kirk. But it's not just the fact that these people are turning to Turning Point USA. Sphinx Award-winning musician Josh Jones is in the building. Morning, Josh. It is the attitude that they are taking into this new movement called Turning Point USA. It is a very Christian nationalist bent. Oh, Philly, I heard about it. It is the gay Kumite. Dre out of nowhere, yes. Very gay Kumite-ish. They are taking a very Christian bent, a very Christian attitude, a very Christian mentality to this. Morning, Wolfie, all the way from Australia. They're saying that that white Christian people should celebrate the fact that they conquered, colonized. Good morning, big sis. I love you so much. Conquered and colonized the United States. And that they should celebrate this. They should find honor in this. They should be joyful for this. May Money's in the building. Good morning. The problem with that is this. These are the same people. Time to get yelled at. Ain't nobody trying to get yelled at over here. The problem is, in this new Christian nationalist fervor, there is no room for the different. That means there is no room for Muslims, no room for Jews other than to be the vessel that gets Kenny Loggins Jesus to come out of the sky, walk through a gate, and ride a donkey or a flaming horse or whatever the F it is that he rides. Every time you hear somebody yell out, Christ is King, they are a part of this. I'm going to say this right now. Top of the morning to you, Jesse. Now, before I go any further in this, I want y'all to understand something. I'm going to say three things. It's the same three things I have been saying since the first time y'all ever saw me on a TikTok video. So none of this is shocking. None of this is new. You've heard this before from me. Faith is a beautiful thing. Faith is the ability to overcome things. You believe in your God, your Allah, your Buddha, whatever. That is what gets you through the day. Little bit, good morning, my sister. So faith is a beautiful thing. Spirituality is a beautiful thing. That means you are tapping into something greater than yourself. and it is allowing you and helping you to overcome things, to accomplish wonders. Faith is the belief that you can do it. Spirituality is you understanding that you can do all of this. Religion's a Ponzi scheme. Religion is a set-up Ponzi scheme to allow men, particularly white men, to stay in the same positions that they are. Morning, Easy Rock. To funnel your hard-earned money into their coffers. To deny things like a woman's right to choose or a being gay in the world. It is religion is what tapped into the chattel slavery. Religion is what caused the Crusades. Religion is what the Vatican practices when they changed in 1948. They changed the wording within the holy text to say man shall not lay with child and turned it into man shall not lay with man. It is literally, hey, Jonathan, I'm always using the race card. Guess what? You're always using the door. You can get your bitch ass out. Ain't that a bitch? I'm trying to be nice. First ejectocito, cuz. Ain't that a bitch? First ejectocito, cuz, this morning. First one. There you go. Get out of here, buddy. Ejectocito, cuz! You can get the hell up out of here, buddy. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. Religion is what was used to justify the erasure of the native people on this continent. Religion was what was used to continue the triangle slave trade and chattel slavery as a whole. Religion. Religion. Not faith, not spirituality. Religion was used to do that. It is religion that is the catalyst for why a lot of people dislike gay, lesbian, and trans people today. Ask any of them. Ask any of them. Ask any of them. There will be a religious bent to their disgust with these people. A religious bent. Why don't you like gay people? Well, in the Bible, bitch, I ain't asked you all that. I ain't asked you all that. Why do you dislike gay people? Well, Jesus said, hey, bitch, hey, stop using the shields. Why don't you like them? There's not a single argument that will come about from these people that will not have a religious bent to it. Not a one. These are the people that seem to believe that a woman's place is making babies and cooking and shit like that. Why? Because of religion. Not because of faith, not because of spirituality, religion. And now, with the rise of Donald Trump, now with the breaking of all social norms, these people are now blatant. They are blatant. Jake Lang, the man who got caught texting with what he thought was a 15-year-old girl, went to New York to stir up shit with the Muslim community. What did he do? He was in the back of a van trying to have sex with a goat. I'm not making that up. I'm not making that up. I'm sorry. You can get, love you, Sword. Look, morning, Swords. Love your face. Love Sword's face. Jake Lang drove through New York City. What up, Monster Lobster? Drove through New York City in a van, and they opened up the back of that van, and there was Jake Lang trying to copulate with a goat. The video's out there. The video's out there. It's out there. It's out there. It's out there. This is the same Jake Lang that went to Minnesota to slap Korans with bacon. This is the same Jake Lang that went to Dearborn, Michigan to burn Korans and slap them with bacon. That is Christian nationalism. That is Christian nationalism. Flat the F out. That is Christian nationalism. The fact, bad timing on my part, walked in, the goat being abused. Good morning. Chuckles, yeah, that was your fault, Chuckles. Chuckles, you got to own that one. Chuckles. Hey, Infernal, I didn't want to see it either. I didn't want to see it either. I was mad as shit. Like, what the hell are we doing? Who told the boat to stop here? Who told the boat to stop here? Man, now they're trying to bust it wide open for a goat. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Christian nationalism. Chris Lotus is in the building. Chris, I am very, very proud of you. And I'm saying it out loud. I know we talked it yesterday, but I'm going to say it out loud. I am very proud of you. I love you. And thank you for being here, little brother. Thank you for being here. No. See, that's the thing, McLovin. Nobody ever calls anybody on these people. Theme Park Drama Queen's in the building. Good morning. Nobody ever calls anybody on these people. The fact that Turning Point USA now wants to have little feeder clubs, little Turning Point USA feeder clubs in elementary schools around America proves my goddamn point. My brother E is in the building, leader of the Outcast Nation, my leader of the Outcast Nation, my second in the Villains Guild, my brother. Nobody is raising a damn fuss about the fact that they want to have Turning Point USA Junior in elementary school. You have the former Secretary of Education in the state of Oklahoma not only putting the 10 Commandments on every school in Oklahoma, not only that, reclaiming our time. Good morning. How are you doing? How are they doing? It's the fact that not only did he want the 10 Commandments in every school in Oklahoma, but he wanted Bibles in every school in Oklahoma. Therapy went great. I'm proud of you for going, E. I am. But not just any Bibles, ladies and gentlemen. He wanted Donald Trump's Bible. We are lovely, just got back from the beach. I understand. Gel is not distorted. I'm using two mics. I have my headphones in so you guys can hear it that way. I just wanted to make sure you guys heard my work. Reclaiming, I'm alive. It's about as good as I need to get it. Now, under any other normal circumstances, a person's religion would not bother me. But now it's serious, kid. Now it's serious. Because I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Donald Trump was the vessel to get people into this bullshit. He was the initial virus. But it's spreading now. It's spreading now. And what that means for the rest of us is this. The Triple K called itself a Christian organization. When will that start to become acceptable? I'm going to say that again because obviously y'all didn't get the whole iconography with the burning of the cross and shit. The Triple K calls itself a Christian organization. When will that be normalized? These same Christian nationalists say that, oh, well, you know, Muhammad was a child, blah, 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 blah. These are the people, and I mean this, that fought against all of the states having a minimum age for marriage. I've told y'all this before. State legislators, Democrat types, wanted 18, which is what you would normally think would be the age. These people were advocating for 12. 12, the number after 11 and before 13. 12. The compromise is 16. The compromise is 16. We've done this exercise on the show before. We have done this exercise on this show before. Go look up your state's age limit to marriage. Don't worry. I'll wait. Don't worry. Don't worry. Go ahead. Take a look. Mary Greenberg said it best. Child marriage is still legal in 34 states. Do y'all think two 12-year-olds are falling in love and getting married? Y'all ever see two 12-year-olds together just being goofy because they're 12? Do you think the two of them are looking at each other like, we ain't getting no younger, so let's get... No, it's not happening. No. So if 12-year-olds, if the marriage limit is 12, 12-year-olds are not out here trying to marry each other. Who do you think that's for? I know. Some of y'all got to go up underneath your desk or underneath your chair or underneath your table to get your jaw. So go ahead and get it. Just gather it up. And just think about it. I really want y'all to think about it. Think about it. Please, think about it. Think long and hard. Who do you think that is for? Who do you think it's for? Could it possibly be older men wanting to marry younger women? California, Mississippi, New Mexico, and Oklahoma all allow minors to marry, often relying on judicial or parental consent or common law exception. As of early 2026, California, Mississippi, New Mexico, and Oklahoma have no minimum age for marriage, allowing minors to marry with parental consent and or court approval. Among states with a set minimum age, Hawaii and Kansas allow marriage at age 15 with parental consent. They're not marrying other 15-year-olds. You know what, Diane? Thank you. Diane over in the TikTok. Diane just said Republicans did say it's a bad thing that teen pregnancy is down. Now, here, ladies and gentlemen, is yet another Stories of the Young Road. From my time as a child, when I went to high school, there were several girls in my class and before, grades above me, that got pregnant. In fact, so many got pregnant, and if you went to Westport High School between 87 and 90, you'll know what I'm talking about. Some people said that the theme of certain proms should have been thanks for my child. That's the truth. There was a lot of girls, when I went to school, there was a lot of girls that got pregnant. A lot of the guys that I went to school with became fathers while we were in school. There's a whole lot of fights to that shit. Whole lot of fights. There's a whole lot of, hey, don't be messing with my baby mama, blah, 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 right? This was what people older than us, the boomer generation, would come in and tell us not to do. There's too many of y'all young kids is having babies while you're still babies, and babies having babies. That was any older Gen X black person remembers that one, don't you? Don't you? Babies having babies. Baby. I made a joke song in 10th grade about this shit. Babies is having babies. That was the joke. That was the joke. The theme of the prom in 1988, they were literally debating whether or not the theme for the prom in 1998 should have been Thanks for My Child. Because there were a lot of them that were pregnant. Now, shout out to all of them because they became good mothers, good fathers. Shout out to every single one of them bucking the trend, bucking the bullshit that CBS and NBC and ABC was trying to say about our goddamn communities. Y'all became good mothers. Y'all became good fathers. Your children ended up becoming, going to college, playing sports, joining the military. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. Never gonna make fun of y'all for that. Never. Because I've seen your children. I have met your kids because, hell, we went to school together. I know your kids. And I know how good of children you raise, so don't you ever let these goofy ass people tell you how wrong you were. And that includes black folks, because there were black folks who was in there talking about babies having babies. Well, congratulations. Now you got jackasses saying that the teen birth rate is too low. Thomas, my high school had a nursery in the school and the girls can go to class. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? That's Annabelle's school. Come on now. But now we got to worry about the birth rate because there's not enough teen pregnancies. Translation, there ain't enough old white men with books in their hand getting a chance to sleep with children and put babies in them. I said what the hell I said. Oh, reclaiming. I'm getting ready to get to them. This shit is pumped to you. Pumped to you. Christian nationalism is pumped to you. Do y'all remember the He Gets Us slogan? All during the Super Bowl. And y'all, hold on. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Remember the last Super Bowl. Remember the Super Bowl before that. Remember the Super Bowl before that. Do y'all remember the He Gets Us ads, the commercials? They're running on TikTok right now. I'm not making it up. A lot of y'all, when y'all go on your FYPs, you don't see your favorites. You see a lot of ads. There's a lot of ads. Do not get me wrong. There's more ads than video. But one of the ads that you will see is the He Gets Us. He gets us. He gets us. Who's the He? Jesus. But look at the companies and corporations and organizations behind the He Gets Us movement. Just go look them up. One of the companies is Hobby Lobby, or the family that owns Hobby Lobby. You know, the Hobby Lobby that went to the Supreme Court just so that they wouldn't have to pay for women's reproductive products. Remember them? Remember the Hobby Lobby that sat there and said that they wanted to have their own religious beliefs be part of their company policy? Hobby Lobby may have great products, and I'm pretty sure they have fantastic employees. I will never knock them because a 9-to-5 is a 9-to-5. You need a job. But Hobby Lobby as a corporation, bitch, you will never see a dollar of my money. I'm sorry. There, I said it. There, I said it. Right there, I said it. You will never see a dollar of my money. Not never. Because the He Gets Us movement is really beautiful Christian nationalism. How come Allah doesn't get us? How would y'all feel if during the Super Bowl, America's gay, during the Super Bowl, an ad came on for Muhammad Loves Us? Listen, TVs would be burning all over the United States by halftime. If CARE, that's the Organization for Islamic Affairs, if they spent, because you got to think, a Super Bowl ad, 30-second Super Bowl ad is going for like $5-6 million. Let's say they spent $12 million for 2 ads, 30-second ads. And in them, it was just a bearded Muslim man helping people out of the dirt. Like, people are falling in the ground, and you see him reaching out to us, and it says, Muhammad loves us. By the time the second ad ran, whoever is hosting the Super Bowl, their entire building would be on fire. They would murk everybody that moved. They would murk everybody that come out of that building. What the hell you mean Muhammad gets us? I don't get Muhammad. What the hell are you talking about, buddy? They, listen, word, I'm trying to be honest with you. They would kill everybody there. There would not be a single person left in the, whoever's hosting the Super Bowl, that building is gone. Do you know what I'm saying? Thomas Bishop, do you hear about the pastor that went to prison for getting caught with a meth lab? He was a televangelist. Again, I'm not even surprised. By the time that, listen, the 2 teams on the field wouldn't be able to play because the stadium would be firebomb or carpet bomb. But shit, second quarter, you're not even going to get the second half of this game, bitch. Everybody would be dead. Everybody would be dead. Thomas, when lockdown happened in 2020, a local Hobby Lobby store tried to proclaim itself an essential business. Oh, they pulled that bullshit. For some reason, Hobby Lobby was an essential business, fast food workers were an essential business, and wrestlers were essential. Make that make sense, but I digress. But the He Gets Us movement gets to just put a couple of ads on the Super Bowl and nobody says anything. Look up Dominionist. Dominionist, there's a book called The Family, and I have it, it's on our bookshelf in the front room. The book is called The Family, and it is about the Dominionist movement. A lot of other movements come from the Dominionist movement. The Quiverful people, they come from the Dominionist movement. Dominionists believe, and this is their belief, they ain't mine, I'm just telling you what they did. It's Jesus plus nothing. Jesus plus nothing. They believe in the 7 mountains. If y'all got that, could somebody put that up in the Discord server, please? The 7 mountains principle, where they take over the 7 things that they need to take over to actually have dominion over the United States. So these people they're harmless outside of political power. A Christian nationalist is power. Listen, they out there flopping around like fish without political power. Morning, John. It is when they have power. It is when they have the ear of our elected officials that these people become dangerous. I'm gonna give y'all a little secret. They're trying to cantonize Charlie Kirk in your face. They are trying to cantonize Charlie Kirk right in your face. You were talking about a man that did absolutely nothing in his life. Not one thing of substance has that man ever done in his goddamn life. But they are trying to cantonize this man right in front of you. They are looking you in the face and telling you this man is just like Martin Luther King. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. There isn't a multiverse in the universe. There isn't a planet in the universe. There isn't a universe in the multiverse where you can put Charlie Kirk's achievements next to Martin Luther King. You couldn't put him next to Martin Luther King, the cat that was named after Martin Luther King, because his mom and daddy's last name was King, and all he does is make mixtapes in his basement. You couldn't put the two of them together. The rapper Martin King is better than Charlie goddamn Kirk. Oh, that Michael Pruitt, they have sanctified this dude. The most mediocre of the most mediocre white men that have ever graced the American political scene. And they are right in front of you trying to turn this man into a saint. They love talking about he died for his words. No, a groyper killed him. I said what I said. Groypers who believe in the same bullshit that Nick Fuentes does. This was white on white crime. Why the rest of us have to suffer for it? Hey, thank you, Shaq. This is the man that said, when I see a black pilot, I'm like, whoa, I sure hope he's qualified. The Artemis II mission had a black captain. Make it make sense. He died for his words. No, he died because him and Nick Fuentes had a beef. How the hell the rest of us get involved in this white on white crime? That wasn't us. And then you come to find out that supposedly the ballistics on the bullet and the weapon ain't matching. We have to really take a real hard look at the influence that the Israeli government has on this movement. Because Professor Moriarty, my brother, my friend, my second, my leader, has been a member of Ghost Claw Productions Radio for 14 months. You have people in the United States that are so pro-Israel for no other reason other than the fact that they expect the Jews to get right or die. That's in their book. That's not me saying anything stupid. That's in their book. That's in the book. Somebody stop me when I tell a lie. Morning, the angriest IT nerd on the East Coast is in the building. Somebody stop me when I tell a lie. Somebody stop me. That's why you see so many evangelical Christian conservatives that are straight up pro-Israel and nothing else. Thomas, not even white on white crime. That was frat on frat crime. And here we are being threatened for not choosing sides like we can't rush anywhere else now. Exactly. Thank you, Star. This shit was it was the battle of two intellectual midgets. I'm sorry, it's not midgets, excuse me, that was an offensive word. Little people. And the rest of us got to sit there and, well, I don't even want to be with any of them. Shit, neither do I. But they are trying to cantonize this man in front of them. Erica Kirk is out here telling y'all. Let me say this again. Erica Kirk is out here telling y'all what the deal is. While she mad at Drewski for making a skit, did this bitch not say, don't ever let anybody tell you you're not special? And my TikTok live got removed. Why? Why? I don't even know. I don't even know. There you go. There you go. I'm going to appeal it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose it. Pretty sure I don't care. See? And that's the other part of this. Let me take these damn headphones off. Now that I'm not on the talk. The talk? That's the other aspect of it. They don't want you to talk about this shit. They do not want you to talk about this shit. They don't. They do not want you to talk about this. To talk about it means that you're being honest about this shit, and they don't want you to do it.
Well, guess
they don't want you to do it. They want you to continue to go along to get along. I'm going to tell y'all something. Larry Ellison, who owns Oracle owns TikTok. TikTok is the one thing that Benjamin Netanyahu said had to be contained and controlled. That's why he was so for Larry Ellison, a huge supporter of Israel, buying TikTok. That's why. That's why. I got a new account. I got about 9,000 followers, whatever. But my views are like 400, 500. Why? Because this sort of thing is not something they like to talk about. They don't. They want you to accept Christian nationalism as they shove it down your damn throat like an unwanted dick. It's true. Ain't no use to me lying. Ain't no use to me lying. This is what they want. Peace, love, and blessings, Troy. Good morning. Good morning. But it was Erica Kirk that said, don't be ashamed to be a young man, especially a young white man. She said that. I didn't.
what?
If it said that, I did not say that. I didn't say it. She did. But let me play something for you. Now that I ain't on this bullshit. Right? Here's a story that proves my point. Listen to this.
Tonight, a school board member in northern Tennessee is facing calls to step down. Keith Irvin caught on a hot mic at a Washington County school board meeting, telling a female student she was hot.
God, you're hot. You know that? Where do you go to school at?
They want us to accept that. They want us to accept that. They want us to accept the fact that these people should be able to do this. This is a grown-ass man talking to a teenager. Then he's trying to say, well, she's hot because she got great girls and goods. Great. There are people that are saying that man did nothing wrong. And if you think I'm making it up, look it up. They're telling you to your face exactly what they want. Christian nationalism has to have old white men sleeping with young white girls, kids, teenagers, to put babies in them so that they can continue this idea of white male superiority. But I'm going to find this thing. Let me find it.
You're criticizing the Lions wearing a...
Hold on. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I am going to find it. But a lot of people did not go. Here it is. Here it is.
People that were there who were younger, in their 20s, they said they came to kind of see the funeral of CPAC and just confirm that it really was over.
Well, what do they think is coming next? It dies, and what takes its place?
I think it's turning point. And I have to say, I think some of the things that some of the younger people that I talked to were a little bit scary, because they were saying things that sounded a lot like white nationalism. It sounded racist, to be honest.
What did they say?
They were saying basically that the United States was founded by Europeans, and that is the identity of the United States. And it was a mission from God to conquer a land, and the United States was conquered by Europeans. And now that they're blessed, the United States is blessed by God because of conquering the people that lived here before. And it was more about religion and more about Christianity and that identity. And that included things like teaching the Bible in school and teaching it literally, like Noah's flood actually happened. All these things actually happened. So it was very different from the people we talked to before who were like, Trump is number one. This was it seems like it's moving in a different direction that is not Trump. And to me, I find that worrying. But I've heard this from people, from talking to people who have children who are in their 20s or in college. They'll say, oh, my son is watching Nick Fuentes all the time. And it's like people you wouldn't expect. Like I think a friend of mine would say that they had a friend who just got really into Nick Fuentes. So it's happening, and you're kind of seeing it bubble to the surface now, which it's very different from the Trump rallies we've gone to. Like the way people are talking about this is very different than what we heard. The people that were there.
Good morning, Nana. Love you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I made the statement that I did. Now, I'm going to tell you what the statement is, because the next hour we're going to spend talking about it. I said this Sunday night. I mean every single word of it, and I will not stand back behind it. It is time, as a collective, that those of us who do not believe in this shit, those of us who do not believe in Christian nationalism, those of us who would like to have the separation of church and state not just written as a little addendum to the First Amendment, but to actually be made into law. It is time for us to stand up, because I am declaring war against Christian nationalism. This is where you come in. Now, again, I don't expect a lot of people to understand this. I don't expect a whole lot of people to understand this. I don't, but I need you to think about what I was saying. Can we not? What I'm gonna do is from Captain Dadpool, but I'm gonna put it in the Discord server. I'm gonna put it in the Discord server because it is that important to me. E, you and I think exactly alike. That's what this is all about. That is what this is all about. Let me see if I can find it again. Hold on.
Some of the people.
The reason I say that is this. If we do not stop this, America has never been good for all Americans. Let me start right there. Let me start right there. America has not been good for every American. It has not been good for black folks, period. It has not been good for the native people of this entire continent of North and South America. It's never been good. It has never been good for the Jew. It's never been good for the Muslim. It's never been good for the woman. It has never been good for the LGBTQIA+. It's never been good for Asians. None of this. They have never been good for anybody except rich, white, conservative, Christian men. But now, they are doing this in your face. They are looking you in the face, and they're doing this to you. If you are a spiritual person, if you are a faith person, the sort of person that uses your Bible not as a cudgel but a guide, the sort of person that believes in the good works of Jesus Christ, not just that he showed up, he was 33, and they killed him. If you are the sort of person that lives your life as Christ would command you to live, I am not talking about you. I am not talking about you. Not talking about you. You will be needed. You will be needed. But I am in no way, shape, form, or fashion bashing you. And like he just said, the UK is falling down the exact same hole. Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes here, Tommy Robinson, and Nigel Farage over in the UK. Tell me I'm wrong. Hungary just got rid of their Christian nationalist in Viktor Orban. Brazil had Bolsonaro. So I am not talking to you, those of you who use Jesus' words as the way you live your life. I do not believe in any of this, but I still manage to live a life as Christ would have commanded me to do had I believed in it. But this is not about that. This is about the Christian nationalism that is creeping into our world. Mary, you know they're ridiculous. So I'm going to tell you what I did. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did use ChatGPT because I wanted to make sure my words said something. So while I'm sitting there, use ChatGPT, yes, and I typed in what I wanted. Then I went through and fixed that. And then I typed in some more and typed in some more and typed in some more, typed in some more. But I came up with this. A declaration against Christian nationalism. I have a declaration and a manifesto. I will read the manifesto first. It will then make the declaration easier to understand. We reject without hesitation or apology the rising tide of Christian nationalism. It is not a movement of faith, it is a movement of power. It seeks not to uplift the soul, but to control the state. It wraps itself in sacred language while advancing a political agenda that undermines liberty, distorts democracy, and divides the people it claims to represent. That is the beginning of the manifesto. Now, don't worry. I am going to put this on a Word document. It will be in the GCPR Substack. I will put it in the Discord. I will also, since I'm thinking about it, I will link the manifesto against Christian nationalism with the tenets and the 10-point program of the Raven Party, which is a political party that I messed around and made just because I could. But this is what I am asking. The Villains Guild does not have to stand. I said this Sunday. The Villains Guild does not have to stand next to me or behind me on this. They don't have to. I am not asking any single member to do so. Any member of the Outcast Nation that does not want to stand with me on this, I have no problem with it at all. I will be that lone voice, but I am fine with it. But if we do not take up this fight now, right now, we are going to have a Christian nationalist revolt or revolution that is going to swallow the rest of the world. Your religious freedoms will not be quantified or saved. You will either have to stand with these people or not. There will be no outliers. I see this. This is that Tony Stark burden of hinds or forward thought or whatever. Burdened with it. I am burdened with it. We stand in direct opposition. We draw a hard line between church and state. The wall separating religion and government is not optional, it is essential. When that wall is breached, freedom erodes, faith becomes a tool of authority, and authority becomes unaccountable. We defend religious freedom as an absolute right. Religious liberty does not mean the dominance of one faith. It means the protection of all faiths and the right to have none. Coercion is not belief. Mandate is not devotion. We reject the lie that this nation belongs to one religion. No country is the property of Christianity. Patriotism is not measured by prayer, nor censorship by creed. Citizenship by creed. Any ideology that says otherwise is exclusion dressed as tradition. Exact. Thank you, Star. Christian nationalism is rampant in the DOD. You have Pete Hegseth who has an Israeli cross on his chest. And I even have a video about him too. Hold on. Wait a minute, because I know I do. Let me see. Hold up. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Hold on. I'll find it. But anyway. We will not bow to theocracy. Democracy answers to the people. Theocracy answers to those who claim to speak for God. We refuse to live under the rulers who justify power with divine authority. We expose and resist the weaponization of faith. Religion should never be used as a shield for injustice or a sword against dissent. When faith is twisted into a political weapon, it betrays its own teaching. We insist on the equal worth of every human being. No law, policy, or platform has the right to diminish the dignity of others. Discrimination cloaked in religion, in religious language, is still discrimination. We defend public institutions from religious capture. Schools will educate, not indoctrinate. Courts will interpret the law, not scripture. Government will serve all people, not a chosen few. We embrace pluralism as a strength, not a weakness. A free society is not uniform, it's diverse, dynamic, and alive with differing beliefs. That is not chaos, it is the foundation of liberty. We reject unchecked authority disguised as righteousness. No leader, no movement, no institution is beyond scrutiny. Claims of divine backing do not excuse injustice, they demand greater accountability. We unite around shared freedoms, not enforced belief. Our bond is not a single religion, it is a commitment to liberty, equality, and justice. We stand together not because we believe in the same, but because we are free to believe differently. This is not an abstract debate, this is a defining line. We choose freedom over control. We choose democracy over domination. We choose a future where no one must surrender their beliefs or their rights to belong. And we will defend that future openly and relentlessly. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is the manifesto against Christian nationalism. That is the manifesto. That will be the opening statement. I will read it aloud, and I will read it with all the force I can get behind it. But that is the manifesto, ladies and gentlemen. The declarations are the exact same. Little flowery language here and there. But this is the hill that I am willing to die on. And I call on any group, regardless of where you are, regardless of who you are, regardless whether or not it's one person or 100 people, regardless of whether or not it's 50 people saying it or 100 people saying it or 1,000 people saying it. I am declaring today a war against religious indoctrination. Oh, I did, way to go. I did. At no point, and this is, I'm going to give y'all this in a TikTok-friendly way. Since the very beginning of the Villains Guild, I have never once asked anybody to pick their friends or who they follow. Not one time. I do not ask for loyalty when it comes to, oh, well, I got to beef with that person, so you can't hang out with them. I've never done that. Never. There have been a lot of people that are against me that have friends that I know. They were given that choice by them, not me. I have never done it. The reason I have never done it, hey, be safe, theme park drama queen. Keep making theme park content, please. I love you so very much. The reason I have never done that is because I don't need to. Throughout my 54 years of life, there have been very few times where I've told somebody, if you're hanging with that person, I cannot hang with you. Not as a choice, but because I know myself and I know the people that I don't like. And it's never them over me. It's more of a I'm choosing to either hang out with you or not. In this fight, we have to all be the exact same way. I never understood this idea of TikTok. Well, you have a beef with this person, so I can't follow you or I can't be your friends. I've never understood that. It's kind of stupid. You can be friends with multiple people and they ain't all got to get along. They don't. They do not. So in this regard, I am not asking anybody that likes me or dislikes me to follow this. I'm not. I am simply asking you to look in your heart and look with your eyes and see what is truly going on. Mary Greenberg is a Jewish woman, or she's married to a Jewish man. I want her husband and Mary and their children and grandchildren, whatever, to live in a world where they're not defined by the actions of Benjamin Netanyahu. I said exactly what the hell I said. Why should they have to live their lives based on being the Holocaust being used as a cudgel against them? Well, you're not a real Jew if you don't this, and this. Why do they got to do that? Why? Yes, they can acknowledge the atrocities that happened before them, but they do not have to be lockstep with bad people. And it doesn't matter who they are. Oh, well, you're a Jew. I'm a Jew. You should follow us. No, you shouldn't. Injustice is injustice, and I don't give a shit who does it. I don't care. Injustice is injustice. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But in this country, to believe in a different faith somehow makes you the enemy. All of these people that are claiming Christ as king, most, if not all, of the migrant people that they're picking up, they're also Christians. They're constantly being told over and over and over and over and over where they should stand, who they should stand with. And their religion is dangled in their face. The reason you will never see me on anything mainstream is because I reject that outright, openly, and with profanity if I have to. You're never going to see me on Piers Morgan, especially not against somebody who believes in the genocide of the Gazan people. No, you're never going to see that. Because I do not have time for your religious dogma. I don't. I got time for what I see in my face. Jesus ain't packing an AK-47. Jesus is not dropping 10 to 15 to 100-pound bombs, bitch. I don't give a shit. If Jesus ain't doing it, what the hell makes you think I'm going to sit there and let you hit me with the Jesus shit when you do it? I have said all along that I am a humanist. I am a humanist. I believe in human achievement. I believe in human shared philosophies and experiences that turn us into the best versions of ourselves. I do this because as a humanist, life matters to me. And no, kids, not just in the womb, but in life. How can you call yourself a Christian and there is a starving man standing next to you? How can you call yourself a Christian and knowing that there will be children that will go to bed with no food in their stomachs tonight? While you were trying to teach the Bible in every Oklahoma school, how many Oklahomans have food insecurities right now? What are you doing about it? What you doing about it? Yes, Ace, I do have a Discord server, and I don't know why the hell your ass is not in the Sound of Coffee. I don't know why you're not in the Sound of Coffee, Ace. But that's okay, because I will put you in the Discord server, Ace. I promise that. I reject this notion that Christ wants us to vote Republican or Democrat. Christ is beyond politics, or so I have been told. I am a humanist. Human achievement matters to me. Human suffering hurts me. So I reject this idea that I am given this choice of, well, my faith that, nah, I don't have any of that. E, what is stopping you from calling yourself a humanist? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and be honest with you. If you give a shit about people, your ass is a humanist. I said what I said. If you're watching the money, wherever you are in the world right now, because I know we got Wolfie in Australia, we got E and Panda over there in the UK, wherever you are in the world right now, if you're watching your money, your tax dollars go to blowing up some shit, and then you got to leave your house and see any sort of a homeless person, any sort of a hungry family, or what have you, you should be pissed off. That makes you a humanist. Flat out. A humanist. You could be a Christian humanist. You could be a Muslim humanist. You can be a Buddhist humanist. You can be a Jewish humanist. You can be a Catholic humanist. You can be a Protestant humanist. You can be a Methodist humanist. There is absolutely nothing stopping you except yourself. Except yourself. It's that simple. I am a humanist because I am a human being. I believe in the rights of a human being. See, E does outreach for the homeless every week, regularly, twice a week, to be honest. E, you're a humanist. I am a militant atheist humanist. The one thing I cannot stand, the one thing I will never be able to stand up and agree with is this idea that somehow I, as a human being who believes in the rights of humans to live and exist in a world that does not require them to shed their human nature to believe in Skyfather, that somehow I'm wrong? How? How? Explain to me how. Explain to me how. I reject it outright. And that also means I reject any religious institution, any religious ideals trying to shape the life that I live, the life that you live, the life that Star lives, or Tracina, or Dread, or DJ, or E, or anyone. I reject it outright. That is why this declaration has to happen. That's why. We have homeless shelters all throughout America that are always struggling to get more and more funds to take care of the homeless population in the United States. Why? And we have Pete Hegseth blowing $98 billion of American taxpayer dollars while having Easter Sunday services for everyone who's Protestant but not Catholic.
Oh my God!
And it's getting worse. Religious dogma is what makes you believe that you're not doing enough, even with the meager things that you have. It is religious dogma that will tell you that if you're working and your husband's working, you're not taking care of your husband. My family struggles to keep food in the house regularly. And the church I used to go to wants me to make donations to the church. I can't afford food, but they don't care about that. It's true, Harley. I help when I can with the little I have, from sewing pockets of homeless people, coats, to listening to people who need to vent, to helping people get into DV shelters. That's enough. If all humans were properly and fully cared for first, we would be much better off as a world. But we have people in power that put wants, desires, and needs first, laughing at those who struggle. True, Ace. The thing I see are traumatic. The way the poor society has to live is disgusting. You're right. All of you. You're right. Good morning, Ashley, with your beautiful self. You ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing, but come on in here, because I'm talking about you too. I need you in here too. Faith is what guides you, right? Faith is that thing that tings at your heart when you see a homeless man on the street. It's faith. Faith is telling you to help him, to shelter him, give him food, give him money, if that's all you have. Your faith is telling you that. That's your faith in your heart telling you that. Faith is not what is leading us today. Faith is not what is leading us today. Religious dogma is what is leading us today. Religious bullshit disguised is what is leading us today. It's what's leading us. You all feel it. I know you do. I know you do. I know you look at yourself, look at the situations going on in the United States right now, and you're going, how did we get here? I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It is going to get worse if we do not stop it. I am advocating with this declaration against Christian nationalism for a worldwide humanist movement. I am one man with a microphone who had an account that drew a whole lot of people in that a lot of people don't like. That is who I am. In other words, I ain't perfect and I ain't trying to be. But this will be the fight of my life. This will be. I'm advocating against veterans. What does that mean? I don't want to make any more. I don't want to see any more broken men and women going to VAs to get piss poor, inadequate care and food and resources. But they had no problem sending these young men and women off to fight in their modern day social media driven, technologically advanced crusades like the one in Iran. My body is broken. I will never be the same way I was when I was younger. And I understand that. Age is one, but the life and the job that I did is another. Right now, I am struggling trying to get a new CPAP machine, trying to get new CPAP equipment. The cold that y'all hear is probably bronchitis or some sort of a virus that I got from my CPAP machine. Or my sister-in-law, I can't really tell you. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the world that we live in. How many mega churches have y'all seen? These large cathedral-sized mega churches. The pastor's nice, dressed up real nice. Got 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 cars. Lives in a $2 million, $4 million, $10 million house. Driving and flying in Lear jets. But they are a man of gold. Or a woman of gold. They are preaching to you prosperity religion. In other words, Jesus wants you to be rich, and if you ain't rich, you don't love Jesus. That's their word. Thank you, Star. Thank you. Thomas, we are not anti-war. We're not anti-military. We're anti-war machines. Stop recruiting in schools with a poverty population. It is poaching the disadvantaged on purpose to keep them impoverished. True. Everything she said is true. Food banks are struggling with food, but Pastor got a brand new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. We're told that we shouldn't feed the homeless because it breeds dependency. But we can feed the military-industrial complex and have Nikki Haley signing bombs that get dropped on Gazan children. We have spread our religious dogma throughout all of the continent of Africa in different countries. That's why Nigerians are over here running. Why are you gay? As if somehow this person isn't a child of God, right? Because we couldn't keep our Christian conservative bullshit here. We had to spread it all over the world. McLovin asked me a question. Let me see if I can. How many foreign women did you get to meet during your service? Several. A lot of them. You had Duterte in the Philippines killing drug dealers extrajudicially and saying it was ordained by God. This is the scourge that we fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I will not ask a single person to stand with me. I have always been an advocate for homeless people. I have always been an advocate for veterans. It is my MOS in the Villains Guild, if you want to call it that. Advocacy and awareness. But this one scares me, and I'm not going to sit up and lie and say that it doesn't. This one scares me because it is daunting. By standing up and saying this out loud, I am going against an entire belief system that is also rooted in Nazi Germany. It's rooted in King Leopold in Belgium. It is rooted in the Crusades. It is rooted in the massacre of the native and indigenous population. It is rooted in the Chinese Exclusionary Act after the Chinese people built the goddamn railroad. And I'm going against this. I'm rejecting it outright. I am calling it what it is. It's a daunting task. And I am afraid. I'm not going to lie. I am afraid. I'm afraid not for myself. Because martyrs die. Martyrs die every day, B. They make martyrs every day. But I want to spark something. I want to spark something. You see, they have taken this Christian nationalism, which is a combination of the church, business, and politics merged into one. And they have turned this into a way of thought. And it's scary. Because now you got to ask yourself, which one am I truly fighting? Which one am I truly fighting? The pastors are walking around in $3,000 shoes while walking past poor people digging through trash for food. Did you know that certain restaurants are told that when they throw out the food for the night, that they're to put bleach on it? Did you know that? they are told to put bleach on the food. You throw it in the trash, and then you pour bleach on it. Why? So that homeless people do not eat your food out of your trash. There are cities and municipalities that are putting those cone spikes, the ones that are about that goddamn big, all over any place that a homeless person would use to sleep in. They're basically saying, hey, you can't sleep here. They're making it almost illegal to be homeless in this country. But this is a Christian nation, remember? 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 Oh, this is a Christian nation. It's a Christian nation. It's a Christian nation. It's so Christian that we are doing everything we possibly can to tell homeless people, hey, why don't you just die? The school and coaches knew they were going hungry, but still expected them to play both ways every second of the game. But this is a Christian nation, remember. I want y'all to remember, this is a Christian nation. And what have I always said? So goes the United States, so goes the world. We learned it from the UK. Don't even try to front. The UK taught us this barbarity. But Russia does it. France does it. China does it. Germany does it. We look at the homeless people like, ugh. But we got to make sure there's a church there. And they want the Crusades Part 2. They want Islam gone. They want another war with Islam. They are begging for another war with Islam. They want it so badly. They want it so badly. It's almost as if they're begging for it. Why do you think we continue to mess around in the Middle East and call these people barbarians and they hate women and they'll throw gay people off of the roof? And then I would think of Matthew Shepard hanging on a fence in a cold Laramie, Wyoming, dead because he was gay. I think about the young gay black man that was stabbed to death by a guy who lied and said he was a Muslim, but it turns out he was a Christian, for being gay. But tell me again how Islam makes women wear burqas and they throw gay people off of roofs. Tell me again. Come on. I'm like Russ Cole. Say it again, Bubba. Say it again to me, Bobby. Come on. Say it again. Say it again. Telling me Nick. Say it to me again. A food pantry stopped giving my family food because I couldn't go to their re-entry class anymore due to getting into college and taking care of my disabled brother. Star says, in blue states, there are entire plots of land devoted to ending homelessness. When we were in New York last time visiting their boyfriend's family, there was a sign that said, if you're homeless, you're not now. In a country where a studio apartment can be up to $2,000, it's no wonder people are sleeping in the street. We have acres of land that we could put tiny homes on. Tiny, affordable homes. But the land can be profitable, and the tiny homes cost too much. But we can have our tax dollars go to the Department of Defense, where the Secretary of Defense can have an Easter service with nothing but Protestants, no Catholics allowed. But we're a Christian nation. I want y'all to remember. Everybody wants to advocate for women to control their bodies. But they want to do it under a dogmatic Christian belief system, not a humanist movement. I don't just see women as women and brood mares or baby mamas or whatever. I see women as humans. Are they not human? Are they not human? The arguments I have had against people who have a problem with trans people and intersex people and things of that nature is this. Why are you worried about the trans part? What about the goddamn human part? Fred Impact with the $5 super chat.
Donations, gifts.
She says, my brother, 29, I've had people tell me he should move out. How? A one-bedroom is over $1,000. My brother won't see the streets as long as I am alive. Y'all remember what they told us? Remember what J.D. Vance told us? That if you can't afford daycare, get your grandmama and grandpa to do it. You mean the grandma and grandpa that are still working? Because you cannot find, you cannot afford any rent, any place in America? You mean that, grandparent? But again, we are a Christian nation. And so goes the United States, so goes the world. This has to be a worldwide movement. This has to be a worldwide movement. The profit margin cannot lead us to where we should be, and neither can cruelty disguised as religion. It cannot happen. This matters to me. Probably more than I've ever let on. I came out as an atheist in 2013. Had a long sit down while I was sitting in Korea. No wife, no kids. On a weekend. And I sat, and I sat, and I sat, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought. And I'm like, what do I need this? Be safe, Mary. Love you so much. Kiss the husband, kiss the daughter for me, please. Why do I need this? The worst representatives of Christianity are Christians. The example of everything this declaration against Christian nationalism, the examples stand in front of you every day. Donald Trump put up a picture of him as some Jesus-like figure healing the sick. And then said, no, I was dressed up like the person in the Red Cross. No, you weren't. You were dressed up like Jesus. Because you did say, opening your mouth, that you are the chosen one. And then they made a song about him being the chosen one. Remember that? Remember that? Do y'all remember that? They've been force-feeding us this shit for decades. They have been force-feeding us this shit for decades. So in 2013, I said, nah, I'm good. I don't need this. I don't. I am literally thinking throughout my whole life if I ever believed in God. I don't think I did. Even as a young child, I don't think I did. I don't. When I got good grades, God wasn't there. My mama was, though. When I needed my ass whooping, God wasn't there, but my mother and father were. Again, I get that people need faith and spirituality to get through this day, and I will never knock you for it. but I don't need it force-fed to me. And quite frankly, if you really want to be honest about it, neither do you. Neither do you. You need food. You need food. That is a need. You absolutely 100% cannot survive on this planet unless you put some sustenance in your body. You need water. You 100% will not survive if you do not drink water. When it is cold, you need clothing that helps you with that cold. You need a place to go to get out of that cold. You need a roof over your head. You need food in your belly. You need water to drink, clean water to drink. You don't need religion. I'm saying this out loud. You don't need a God to tell you everything I just said to you. Your body tells you this. How many of y'all have ever gotten so close to dehydration and you realize I ain't drank enough water? I ain't drank enough water. I ain't drank enough water. I did. I got pictures of it. I got pictures of it. In 2013, I decided to run. They were doing a PT day, the whole day. We were going to do push-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups. We did well, I walked. So we did a 2-mile walking, or for me, it was walking. And then we did a 12-mile ruck march. We did 6 miles to the DFAC and back. And I got dehydrated. I did. I overheated. I started to see spots. I almost fell out. And mind you, I was E5 at the time. The church, from what I understood, was inside of you. Jesus only had 2 commandments. Love God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. From what I understand. From what I understand. With the needs that you have, there comes other things. Catholic charities, the Catholic Church owns a lot of hospitals. Nobody can go in there for free. Nobody. You know, like Jesus would do, healing the sick. Remember that? Remember that part? Healing the sick. The woman had the issue of blood. For 12 years, she had the issue of blood. She touched the hem of Jesus's robes. He turned around and said, "Who touched me?" But she was healed. Lazarus being raised from the dead. The leper who he touched and said, "Go and sin no more," and healed him. Remember that? That's in the book. That's in the book. But you will not find one Catholic hospital that you can go into for free. This is a profit margin. You got to make money. The Vatican has its own GPS tracker. It has millions, billions of dollars. Yet, all throughout the world, there are Catholics who live with nothing. Nothing. They believe in the virgin birth and the Virgin Mary and things of that nature, and they are starving all over the world. And don't get me wrong, Islam does the same thing. Islam does the exact same thing. No religious institution truly does what are in those holy books. They don't. But they'll give you lip service to the shit. They will make goddamn sure you get lip service to the shit, don't they? A lot of Christian conservatives in the United States want to preach the New Testament, but act like the Old Testament. Thank you, Star, for even mentioning that. Thank you, Star. They want to preach like they New Testament people, the new church, but they live by Old Testament rules. And even then, they don't follow them. They'll make sure that man shall not lay with man is the only thing that you remember, but not mixed linens, not eating shellfish, not working on the Sabbath and all that other shit. So they'll cherry pick the shit they want you to live with. They cherry pick it. Cherry pick it. Over and over and over.
It benefits.
And why? Why? Because they can get away with it. They can get away with it. And they can get away with it because they use your faith and your spirituality as a chain around your throat. They will tell you that Jesus Christ is supposedly a white man that lived in the Middle East. Like I said before, faith gets you up out of bed every morning. A faith in a greater thing, a faith in something greater than yourself. That is what literally gets you out of the bed. Spirituality is what guides you. Lustful connection is great, but spiritual connection is something totally different. Am I right or am I wrong? And while you're sitting here focusing on the flaws within your own life based on Christian nationalist doctrine, these same people are the exact same people that abuse you. They abuse you. Greg Locke can sit up and bash a Barbie house with a Bible wrapped around a baseball bat, but Greg Locke cheated on his first wife with the woman who became his second wife. It's the profit margin, not the saving of the soul. That's why faith and spirituality are important, but religion is a Ponzi scheme. Religion tells you you got to give to this preacher. Another story from the young road. And it is something I will never forget as long as my ass stays black and points to the ground. It is something I will never forget as long as I am black and my ass points to the ground. I am in a church in Kansas City. I'm not going to tell you what the church is because the church is gone now. The preacher and his wife are probably dead. Whatever. We have a visiting church. We got a choir over here and a choir over here. And they singing. And they open the gates they open the doors of the church for money. Time to give. Tithes. My mother gave faithfully. But there was a Deacon Jones. If he wasn't 100, his ass was on the doorknob of 100. He was in 100's neighborhood. He was in the goddamn zip code of 100. That's how old this man was. And every week, without fail, he'd give $1. He would do it twice because the offering plate would come down 2 times. He gave $1 2 times during the service. He did this every week, every single week without fail. He came in with $2. He gave $2 damn dollars. And he would give them to you, not all at once, but one at a time. So here we are with this visiting preacher, pastor, whatever. Choirs are singing, blah, 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 blah. Deacon Jones gets up in his, this is the only suit I got, with a tie that he didn't tie well, and went up proudly and put his $1 in the offering plate and sat down. Here comes this preacher. Again, not going to say what church it is because the church is closed. He stops both choirs from singing with a visiting church in his own church. Stops all of it. And then proceeds to berate Deacon Jones for 10 minutes. I know it was 10 minutes because I was wearing a watch that day. And I sat and I watched it happen. Deacon Jones used to sit right next to me. For 10 minutes, he berated this man. This man who is literally so old that the cataracts in his eyes are almost visible. This man who only knew one song and sang it every single Sunday. This man whose life I have no idea what he had went through, but he looked like the sort of person that went through every hardship black folks have been through since the damn chains came off. And for 10 whole goddamn minutes, I watched this preacher talk bad about how he never brings in more than $2, how he only comes up and puts that $1 in the offering plate, how he expects to get maximum things from the church, and all he gives is $2 every week, $2 every week, $2. I watched him berate this man for 10 minutes. I was embarrassed for Deacon Jones. But it was the part that he ended this beratement of this old black man that truly stuck with me. Truly stuck with me. This preacher looked at a church full of people, black folk, and said these words: God's word is free, but you got to pay to get it pumped to you. You can ask my brother, you can ask my sisters, because they were there. He said, God's word is free, but you got to pay to get it pumped to you. And he said this to a black elder, an old black man that sat with me. That has been like the sword of Damocles in my head. Every time I hear Kenneth Copeland talk about the gays, I hear that. Every time I see Joel Osteen with his perfect goddamn teeth, smiling in your face, with the perfectly coiffed hair in this big-ass megachurch, I hear those words. Every time I see somebody say that gay people should be stoned to death based on biblical teaching, I hear that. I hear it. It drives me, it aggravates me, it scares me. I hear it all the time. And then I watch and I listen as people yell out, Christ is King! Christ is King! Christ is King! They all sound like that preacher, every one of them. Every one of them. Every one of them. I always question, why do people give money to help themselves get into heaven? This is the scary part, kids. We're barely taking care of people now. DJ and Nana, retired black women. They have worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. But they live in a society that has not given them all that they deserve for their hard work. And then they're telling them, oh, you're a black woman. You should have been having more babies. What you doing all that working for? Christ is King. They want that taught in school. That Nana J and DJ, they work and women shouldn't work. What you doing getting their education? Go home, make babies. Christ is king. And they expect me to sit there and watch this and say nothing? They obviously don't know me very well. I want people of faith and people of spirituality in this fight. I want you to take back your religious beliefs and turn them into what Jesus wanted them to be in the first place, which is loving the Lord with all of your might and loving your neighbor as you love yourself. I don't want religion in my government. Because if religion is fallible based on the ideas and lies of men, then it's going to get in a government which is already fallible and led by the lies of men, white men, white men, white men. What the hell is everybody else supposed to do? How you going to be a Jew in that? How you going to be a Muslim in that? How you going to be a Hindu in that? How you going to be a Buddhist in that? How you going to be a Taoist in that? How you going to be an agnostic or an atheist in that? How you going to be that? Tell me. If the UK all of a sudden starts banning Muslim people and the only people there are Christians, what happens to the Jews that are there? What happens to the Muslims that are there? What happens to the atheists and the agnostics? What happens to them? What happens? Because it's not enough for you to believe the shit and then bash me with it. But then you want to turn laws that I have to live with and turn that bullshit into laws that affect my life, my wife's life, my daughter's life, my son's life, and my grandkids' life? Are you out of your goddamn mind? Are you out of your mind? This is why I say this is the fight of my life. This is serious to me. Probably more serious than anything I've ever spoken about since you have all met me. Because I see it. Got to go dip. These girls have a special practice. Be limitless. I love you so much. I am damn proud of you. Remember, change is not peaceful. Peace comes after the transformation. I got your 6. That is the inspirational word from Miss Star O. Gwynn. This is the fight of my life. It is why I will never ask anybody to take up this fight with me. But every one of you is friends with somebody else. Every one of you are a follower of somebody else. Now's your time to ask them the question, are they going to fight against it? This declaration against Christian nationalism, the reason I am putting it on Substack is because I want it to spread. I want other people to spread it to their friends. I want these conversations to start. I don't give a damn if you give me credit or not. I don't care. It's not about credit. I'm asking the Villains Guild to stand with me. They don't have to, but I know I'm asking them to. I'm asking the Outcast Nation to stand with me. They don't have to, but I'm asking. I'm asking misfits. I'm asking pagans. I'm asking anybody to stand against this. You ain't got to stand with me. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't. But this is what is coming down the pike. Do you think Donald Trump is the end of this shit? No, he's just the beginning. He is the open door to this. And it will get worse. Gilead isn't even the scope. Think bigger. Think crusades. Think of people killing people who do not believe in their church. Think about women in backroom alleys of doing abortions, and they get caught and arrested for heresy, and then they get killed. Everything that they try to put on Islam, Christians are just as capable of doing the exact same thing. This is the fight of my life. This is the fight of my life. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I am afraid. I am definitely afraid of this. Not because of the size of it. I don't care about the size, but it's the forces surrounding it. Jake Lang is performative. But Pastor Hagee has the ear of a Supreme Court justice. Yelling out, Christ is King. That's scary, but not nearly as scary as Oklahoma passing a law that puts the 10 Commandments in schools. These jackasses all over social media with their Christ is King bullshit and their Christian nationalism. Yeah, it's scary, but not nearly as scary as J.D. Vance, a man who is more than happy to play the role and usher in Christian nationalism. And he can do it from the Oval Office. He ain't got to do it on a street in Minneapolis slapping Qurans with bacon. That's beneath him. Benjamin Netanyahu is being briefed by our federal government. Think about that. The Vice President of the United States is briefing Benjamin Netanyahu before he briefs the American people. You got a whole lot of iconography when it comes to the cross, but not a whole lot of iconography when it comes to the guy that was on the cross that actually told you to help the homeless, feed the hungry, heal the sick. And here I am, an agoraphobic 54-year-old black man with black fingernails, black hoop earrings, who has been accused of being homophobic, who has been accused of being narcissistic, who literally drapes himself in the ideals of villainism, who's really big on TikTok, who you will not see on your mainstream media, who Larry Ellison at Oracle does not want even to have a live talking about them. I'm the guy that Erica Kirk wakes up in sweat from. Can't have that guy talking. And I have to go out in the public with this. You goddamn right, I'm afraid. You're goddamn right I am. But you know the other thing that I am? You know the other thing I am? Determined. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is the fight of my life because it's not just my life on the line. It's yours. Harley, stop that. Stop that. I apologize to you, JD, in the coffee beans if it seems like I'm grifting. I'm not. We're truly struggling, even while working and trying to find work, to put food on the table almost every day. Harley, you are not grifting. You are not. When I say this is a community, I mean that. It's not just about the Discord server. Y'all talk offline to each other. Phone numbers exchanging, things of that nature. If we got it and you need it, Harley, we will give it to you. For no other reason other than the fact that you need it. We reject the idea that we'll pray for you And we're actually trying to help you. This is why this fight is necessary. Because Christian nationalism don't give a shit about black folk. All they care about is the cross and the flag. The cross and the flag. Got to put the cross in the flag. They're going to continue to do this until they take over our government. They're going to take over our government. I think it would be a good idea if yourself and the professor both did a video each and addressed Australia about these problems. We could. He and I are very good together. Very good together. Don't you ever apologize, Harley. Don't you ever apologize. Ever. You don't need to apologize in here. I meant you and the coffee beans. I said JD by mistake. I know. Don't you ever apologize, Harley. Never. So I will say what I said Sunday. I will say it out loud, and I will say it on the platform in which you all are watching. I, Thomas McCormick, professionally known as Thomas Bishop, the villain, I am declaring war on Christian nationalism in the United States and across the world. I am not asking a single solitary person to stand next to me in this fight. I understand that people will try to equate their religious beliefs with Christian nationalism. It is because we are trained to do so. I stand here as an atheist. I stand here as a humanist. So let me go ahead and get all of that out of the way. Yes, if you want to bash me for it, fine. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. But I will not allow the fervor for our nation and our God to be turned into lies and laws. I will be hated for it, and I am accepting it now. But I will stand up against this. I will stand up against anybody who thinks this is a good thing. It is slowly but surely creeping through governments all over the world. This entire fight with Iran is a part of it. This entire ideal that Christ is king is a part of it. These actions against Muslim people and Somali people, this is a part of it. And I will stand in opposition of it. I will use my voice in the best way possible to stop this. I'm calling on anybody and everybody around the world who has a problem with this to stand with me. You will have the manifesto. You will have the declaration. That way you have something that you can use to argue against what is coming down the pike. This is not a fight against faith. This is not a fight against spirituality. This is a fight against nationalism, wrapped up in Christian dogma that tells you the only good people are Christian people, and not every Christian, just the ones that they accept. I am declaring war on Christian nationalism. This is the fight of my life. Not for me, but for the future, for your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and for every single generation beyond. I do not want them to live in a world where their faith is treated as a joke and they are told how they have to live based on the teachings of a guy the people that want them to learn this don't even listen to. I will not live in a world where people like Deacon Jones someone who has seen the worst that American society can give them. And they give all that they have just to be berated and told how much they are nothing. Thomas, I know you can do this. I support you. You got this, big brother. Thank you, Jamil. It ain't right, though. It's not right. Force people to live by Christian values that you don't. Force people to argue against their neighbors, their friends, their family. Telling people they can't live the lives that they want because your faith has been used against you. And now you have laws that tell you otherwise. Laws that tell you you should accept the fact that grown old Christian men have to have children by kids. And you better not say nothing because you hate Jesus. Morning, STL. I'm not living in a world like that. It's not. I'm not living in a world like that. It's not living in a world like that. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's not living in a world like that. I'm not. I told y'all, the purest soul I've ever known is my daughter. Purest soul ever known is my daughter. I look at every mistake I've ever made in life, all the bad choices, all the shit that I did. Here's this pure ass human being. Someone I don't think I deserve. I don't want her to live in a world where she's only looked at as somebody to make babies with. Her disabilities are ridiculed by Christians. She's called a mistake. And I'm not living in a world where she has to live under that bullshit. I'm not a good man, y'all. I told y'all this. I'm not a good man. I just want a good world. That's it. That's it. You want to know what my goal has always been? Just to have a good world. A world where bombs and bullets come long lastly before bread and beans. A world where homelessness is not treated like a crime, but treated like a problem to be fixed in the system. A world where women are not looked at as what comes out of them, but of who they are. A world where you find love wherever you can find it, gay, straight, or trans. A world where justice, empathy, diversity, intellectualism, love, affirmation leads us long before slapping a Bible that you don't read and old stories about living in Wales and telling people man shall not lay with man. A world that I can die in. I, this bad man, this unforgiven human being, this mistake laden human being can die and know that the purest human I have ever known, the purest person that I have ever met, the purest thing, entity in my life can live in peace. To make a world worthy of my daughter. I will be the monster in there. There'll be other people's dreams. I'm gonna end this show. I'm gonna end this show before I start really, really busting out crying. I'm sorry. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is my turn to talk with the one and only Solid Blue Sister. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm proud of you. I believe in my heart of hearts that we can fix this. We can stop it. We can make it to where others have a life worth living, that their faith and their spirituality is rewarded rather than ridiculed. A world where laws are just and fair, not based on the Bible, but based on human rights. Where other countries throughout the planet adopt the exact same mentality. Where peace is the priority over property, over land. We can do it. I'll be the catalyst. I will be the catalyst. What is it that we say every day, kids? May your day be as sweet as the coffee in your cup. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Bishop. I'm known as the villain. This has been The Sound of Coffee on Ghost Claw Productions Radio, GCPR, where every voice matters. I love you all. I'll try to have a better show tomorrow. I will. I know I went down in different places. Hydrate, elevate, self-love, and self-care. I love you all. Have a beautiful day on purpose. That is a good word from Miss Tracina. I'll try to have a better show tomorrow. I'm sorry. I love you guys. See you in the morning. Peace.